everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you enjoyed part 2.
Katie, listen carefully. Right. You can't see what they're saying. They have body cams on for transparency. But what they just did, what they just communicated, we have no idea. It's so easy to communicate around a camera if you know where it is and you know when it's on. So look.
Just because the camera can't point at their face doesn't mean that you can't pick up the audio. And pretty much all they said was, yeah, I know. If we didn't hear the rest of it, that's totally fine. It's not like that they were sitting there making secret plans on what they were going to do to you. I don't think they would have done that even without body camera on. But Chille's going to want his subscribers to think that they were plotting his demise right there on the body camera, even though you can't hear it. Because, I mean, it is his narrative and he's got to manipulate his followers in some way.
Now, he hasn't grabbed me yet, and the reason he hasn't started torturing me yet is because he's trying to get into a back and forth with me. He's trying to get me in a back and forth where he can say that he's afraid that I'm going to flee. But I won't give it to him. But you can see there's no, so look on this side over here. Do you see over here? There's no cops behind me. This cop's walking away. I'm no flight risk at all.
But they don't know that. They don't know you, Chille. The only thing that they know is what they see. An unhinged, mentally challenged human being who is literally throwing a toddler tantrum. They don't know if you're going to take off running or not. The whole reason they put handcuffs is because they don't know if you're going to go anywhere. If they left the decision to handcuff up to every criminal, I guarantee you they would all say no handcuffs. I promise I won't run. And I guarantee you that at least 8 out of 10 of them will take off running. Because just because you tell the cop, I don't plan on fleeing, doesn't mean you're telling the truth. They don't know you. I don't know why you think that just because somebody looks you in the face that they should automatically know that you're going to just be this innocent little puppy who doesn't do anything except what you're told, which is the complete opposite of you. You're trying to push a narrative that if anybody who didn't even know you was to watch this arrest video, they would clearly say the same thing, that you are unhinged and mentally unwell.
He's just annoyed that someone films the cops, and he'll say it 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, they're not annoyed that you were filming them. And I seriously doubt that he will say that 5 or 6 times. But I'll listen carefully to see if he does.
I'm concerned about your well-being. He's concerned about my well-being, he says. What a lying piece of shit. Sandoval, I'm not going to stop, bro. I'm not going to stop. You and I are in a...
Because of your behavior, anyone is concerned for your well-being. We are concerned for your well-being because you are that unhinged and mentally unwell that everybody else is worried about your well-being. Like, many of them will say, no, they don't. I honestly do. There's something wrong with you mentally. And until you get help, you're right. You're not going to stop. You're not going to stop lying. You're not going to stop grifting. You're not going to stop using people. You're not going to stop being the fake person that you are. You just won't stop being all the bad things. Because I have yet to see a good thing about you since I started watching you a year ago.
Death war, my friend, and your job is on the line, and I'm going to take your job out, you piece of shit.
Chille, I know you think in your head, in Chille land, that you are important enough to get this cop fired. Because you're not. and you will never be able to get a cop fired. You claim to have gotten 2 cops fired in Ohio, which is a complete lie. You didn't get them fired at all. One was promoted and another one retired. That had nothing to do with you. It literally had zero to do with you. You have never gotten a cop fired, and you can't, because every cop that you have encountered has done their job correctly. They have done everything that they were supposed to do, and it was all done legally. And you can't prove that otherwise.
I mean, look at the girth of me and look at the girth of him. I would body slam this man if he decided he was going to attack me without that badge and gun on.
No, there's Chille acting like he can fight again. Yes, Chille, we all see that you're fatter than the officer. We can see that.
This man would have no chance against a man like me. None. He would have zero chance. I would destroy you, Jesse.
You would have
to ask me to let you off the ground, you beta male cuck.
Well, if I was his size and someone fat like you sat on me, I would be begging for you to get your fat ass off of me as well. But I can guarantee you that if you went after him, there's no way you could take him down. I guarantee you, with one swoop, he'd have you on your ass. Just like he had you on his hood. Didn't you have a chance to take him down, Chille? You did. You you slapped his arm several times. You let him put you up against the hood of his vehicle. You claim that you could take him down? Bullshit. He took you down, and we all got to gloriously watch it.
So he's talking shit to me, and as you guys know, as soon as pigs start to talk, I destroy them. So he's getting worked. He's getting his ass kicked.
Actually, what it looks like to me is that you are getting more triggered by the second, and he is staying very, very calm. The only one who looks like they're getting their ass whooped here verbally is you, Chille. Usually. You couldn't destroy anything. Nothing. And I think maybe you are so convinced that your weird trifold is indestructible because you're too weak to destroy it yourself. But I can promise you that I could take it and rip it in two just with my hands. Obviously, you're not strong enough. You're weak. You can't even destroy your own trifold. That's why you think it's indestructible.
He's trying to tell me the definition of words, this dunce cap pig who has no other skills. All he can do is take orders and be a pig. So I'm annoyed with him. Just leave me alone.
What's funny is we cannot hear what the officer is saying, clearly, because of the wind, because he's too far away, and he's not raising his voice, sounding like a lunatic like Chille usually does. So what Chille is doing here is what he always does. If you cannot hear the other person, he then tells you what that person was saying. And 100% of the time, the person wasn't saying that. It's what Chille wants his followers to think that person was saying. But that conversation never happened. There is a reason I said, hold on for a minute, and I'll show you when we get to that part.
He's a professional executioner. He's a professional abuser. He's going to come in, find my ulnar nerve. Like you notice, there's no broken blood vessels on this arm. How come my arm? But look at this arm. Why are there still broken blood vessels on my arm? Because
you give yourself a hickey. And to keep that bruise there after all this time, you continue to suck on your arm to keep the hickey there so that you can say that he caused that. By the way, that's not where your ulnar nerve is.
He made sure he did permanent nerve damage. I don't have any feeling in my finger and thumb. And I was talking to my team, and I was like, you know, I wish I was just BSing, but I don't have any feeling in my finger.
Let me just make this really clear. For someone who really does have permanent nerve damage and cannot feel my left pinky and left ring finger, nor can I feel any part of that side of my hand all the way up my arm because of nerve damage due to my spine. I also have no feeling in my left thigh or going down the inner part of my leg, on my left leg, all due to my spine injury. He's full of shit. And I know this. He has no permanent nerve damage. And I'm really going to be interested to see how he finds out that he has it, because you know he's going to sell this. You know he's going to sit there and continuously say he has permanent nerve damage and for the rest of his life he won't be able to feel these fingers, blah, blah, blah. There's only one test that can test this theory. And if he's smart and he wants people to believe him, if it is true, he'll have this test done, and then he'll show us the documentation done by the specialist who does it. But I can promise you right now, none of that's ever going to happen. Why? Because Chille does not have permanent nerve damage. Just like he will not request his play button because he knows YouTube will audit his channel before they release it after he pays the $300 for it, which he does not have. He will never tell the truth, because telling the truth will make all of his subscribers see that he's full of shit.
Here in my thumb, it's just not there. So I want to show you this again. Watch what he's going to do. And then the video comes on in 5 minutes. Watch what he does. He focuses entirely on putting his thumb into my nerve to cause permanent nerve damage,
Bullshit.
Which I believe he's done. And I'm gonna. You guys can watch it. Watch what he does.
Wait. So he claims, first of all, that he did this on purpose, but then in the same sentence says, I believe that's what he's done. Chille, just because you believe something doesn't make it a fact. We all know that you don't understand what the meaning of a fact is. Let me explain it for 1 second. A fact is something that really happened. Learn it. Learn what a fact is, because you seem to have a really hard time with facts, with telling a fact, with proving a fact. You just don't seem to understand what a fact is.
How he so quickly puts himself into a position to completely and utterly abuse.
Mm-hmm.
Right there. Do you see it?
Oh,
now,
no.
It may seem subtle to you.
Oh, no. He walked next to him and stood next to him and put his hand on his upper arm. Oh, no. It's torturous. Oh, I can't watch. I can't watch this. I can't watch him being tortured in such a horrible way. Chille, shut up.
But look, now listen to the excuses. I'm afraid you're going to fall over. And then he says it's our policy. He was angry and insulted, and he's dumb. So he retaliates with physical abuse on camera. Now, this is the beginning.
Now, see, here's the thing, is Chille kept wobbling. I don't know if anybody else has caught that, but yeah, Chille kept wobbling. Second of all, Chille, learn how to tie your shoes untied. I'm sure he walks around like that all the time. I'm almost positive that Chille doesn't even know how to tie his shoes. Like, most of us learn how to do that at a very young age. But, yeah, I don't think Chille knows how to do it. He's wobbling. He keeps turning around in circles. He keeps yelling and screaming like the sociopath that he is. So, yeah, if the officer thought he was going to fall over, he had every right to think that. One reason would be because, well, Chille's not sober. He never is sober. He definitely wasn't sober during this arrest. You could clearly see that. If he was sober, if you are sober and I'm wrong about that, then you need to get help. I mean, you already need to get help, but that's just another indication that you seriously need help, is when you constantly look and behave like you are not sober. But let's see this guy torture Chille so badly.
Of the torture. This is the beginning. Because at first, when someone puts 5 or 10 pounds of pressure onto your elbow, you can feel them squeezing you, but you're like, whatever, I can take it. Someone can squeeze me.
You obviously can't.
But that's not what he was doing. This man is a professional. He's a professional abuser. We have to get him off LVMPD. I'll be at the city council meeting this week.
And Chille is a professional liar, grifter, and fraud. Oh boy.
Las Vegas, I'm going after Jesse Sandoval's job. I'm not going to stop on Sandoval till he's gone. Till you're gone, you piece of shit.
Good luck with that.
Meet me at the UFC gym, Sandoval. Meet me at the UFC gym. I'll take you on right now. In the gym, on the mat, in a fair arena. And I'm not in that great a shape right now. I've wrestled 30 years, though. I believe I'll bounce you off the mat, you piece of shit.
What?
This guy...
You piece of shit. Come meet me on the mat, you piece of shit. Chille, you have not been wrestling for 30 years. You wrestled for what? Maybe a couple years in high school that you came in 4th place each time. I mean, come on. Really? You couldn't even come in 3rd place and you're still talking shit like this? See, the people who talk like this, who constantly claim they can beat up people, who constantly call themselves an alpha, they do that because they know they're weak. They know that they are not alphas. I mean, we already know Chille's below a beta. And Chille knows that if he were to fight this officer for real, he would lose. But if he continuously hammers that into his subscribers' heads, hey, I can fight him and win, and I can do this and that, then because his subscribers can't think for themselves, they will believe it. You ready? We're going to see now where Sandoval completely tortures Chille. Like the ultimate of torture. We're going to see that. Are you ready for it? Okay.
But now he's not going to stop. He's going to focus that. Now look at the tip of the thumb here. See this? He's going to focus. Now, to you and I looking at this, it's no big deal. He's just grabbing me. But what you're not thinking about is that your ulnar nerve is right there at the base of your elbow. His thumb is buried into my ulnar nerve. Okay, so let's talk about Chille's supposed hypothetical made up in his head injury. Let's figure this out here. Okay, so there's 2 main nerves that he could be talking about. One is the ulnar nerve. One is, well, he's just talking about the ulnar nerve. Let's just put that one out there. First of all, the ulnar nerve runs behind the medial on the inside of the elbow. Inside of the elbow. Beyond the elbow, the ulnar nerve travels under the muscles on the inside of your forearm. That means the part of your arm that rests against your body. The inner part of your arm that faces your body is where the ulnar nerve is. Now, bear with me, people, because you'll see why I'm explaining all of this medical shit right now. Then you have a nerve called the radial nerve. The radial nerve travels down the arm and supplies movement to the triceps muscle at the back of the upper arm. Remember this. The radial nerve is in the upper back of your arm, and the ulnar nerve travels down the inside of your forearm. I'm getting to the point here. This is where the ulnar nerve is. Now I'm going to try and make this a little bit, I don't know if I can, but I'm going to attempt this. Okay. So this is where the ulnar nerve is. This is the inner part of your arm. Okay? This part of your arm literally faces your body, which makes it the inner part of your arm. Okay, so this is, of course, the human body. Now, this will make sense when I show you the picture of Chille's arm as well. But this right here is the back of your arm. This whole section here.
right around here, is where Sandoval's thumb is. Okay? And I did this because this is the left arm, which is the arm that Sandoval was holding Chille. This is where his thumb was, right around that section. Again, I wanted to show the picture of the ulnar nerve, which is right there. Right here is the ulnar nerve. This again is the inner part of your arm. It faces your body. This is Chille's arm with Sandoval's thumb on it. Now, you can tell that this whole area here is the back of Chille's arm. The back of his arm. Not the inner part. It's the back of his arm. Sandoval's thumb is literally right there. Right where I showed you it was on the picture of the human body. That's where his thumb is. You can clearly see that that's where his thumb is. Let's go back. It's right there. Just show it one more time. His thumb is right in there. Now, if you remember me reading this, the ulnar nerve is on the inner part of your arm. The radial nerve is here on the back of your arm. This is where the radial, I don't forgot what it was. Anyways, that's where that nerve is, where his thumb is. So, my point is, Chille, how is his thumb damaging your ulnar nerve permanently when his thumb is nowhere near your ulnar nerve? Alright everyone, so this was the end of part 2. Now part 3 should be uploaded right about now. Enjoy.